What's going on YouTube? So it's been a while since I've been working in the shop on the machines themselves. Last video I did a video on this toolbox, which this is going to be the first time I'm going to use it. So I'm getting ready to go to Pismo in about 2 weeks, and I'm going to take this machine here and that one kind of back there in the back. That one is my usual one you guys see all the time, and this is one of the machines I bought off that deal that was a video a couple weeks ago. So this one I've brought it on a couple trips now, and both times it's not been running right. I think what it is, the carburetor needs to be cleaned. It had been sitting for a long time, and I believe that the primary jet is clogged. So in this video, I'm going to just tear into it, get the carb out, get it on the bench, and hopefully start looking at it to see how we can clean it and get it back in, and hopefully that will get this machine ready for Pismo. Okay, so I have the carb out. Wasn't too bad of a process. Getting it back in is actually a little more difficult just because it's hard to get to everything. But what we're going to do here is we're just going to open this up. I believe it sounds like the float is working just fine. I don't have any reason to suspect it. I'm a little hesitant to open this up because I don't have a gasket for it, and if it doesn't seal back up, I'm gonna have some troubles. But I think all I really need to get to is this here. That's socket. I think it's maybe a 16. There we go. Okay, barely even tight anyways. Okay. You can see there's a little bit of gunk down there. So let's get this open. Okay. So we should, not sure if you can see this or not, should be able to see through that, and clearly we cannot. So this might be an easy fix. Okay, so I tried to find something in the shop that would fit through this. The only thing I can find is like a drill bit, but oh boy, that is quite cruddy. I might actually need something thinner because I don't think this is even thin enough. Okay, back to the drawing board. Okay, so I was able to get this open back up. I'm not sure if you guys can see through. Well, there you go. So you can kind of see through. There, right there. So I think that might have been the problem. Not entirely sure because it wasn't like stuck. So I don't know if it was just a little bit of feel that I was seeing that made it look like it was blocked or not. But I think we're going to have to go ahead and open this thing up. I'm hesitant to do this, but I don't know. With everything out so far, might as well just go ahead and do it to try and answer the questions of what might be going on. So the problem is that it's very limited in acceleration. And there also might be a throttle issue. I should have probably even started with that. The throttle doesn't go very far. So let's just go ahead and open this up, take a look, see if we can find anything obvious, clean what needs to be cleaned, and then we'll close it back up, and then we will start looking at other issues, including that throttle issue, which is kind of a concern. I think, unfortunately, this screw is going to give me some trouble, I can already tell. Don't know if this screwdriver is going to do it or not. Nope. That guy is rounded out. Okay. Of course, I probably don't have a, I don't know, this is what, a 6mm? Maybe I got a screw that'll work here. Maybe a couple light taps at the impact will do the trick here. There we go. Okay, so a little bit of digging and everything, and it turns out that this little cup is for the primary jet. So this actually threads in like this. Shows you how many times I've actually rebuilt one of these things. Okay, that's how that's supposed to go, which makes sense. So the next issue that I got going on here is we need to check that jet and make sure it's okay. Can't see anything, so I'm gonna have to find a way to poke through that and make sure it's clear. Okay. This looks like it's, you can barely see through it, but you can actually see through it now. We could not do before. So I think we're doing something good. There we go. Nice, good spray. Okay, so that all checks out, that checks out. Did a little bit of cleaning. I think that kind of helps a little bit. Now, the only thing I'm not really sure about here is, so we have our needle, or whatever you want to call this thing. This is for the float. And I believe that this is supposed to be hooked on through here. And it is not currently. So that should sit kind of like that. And then this should sit down like this. And is this thing directional? Maybe it will be directional. Okay. So the one thing I'm not really sure about is this pin is just really loose, and there should be a little bit of friction on this thing, but I'm not feeling any friction, and it'll easily tap out that way, side to side. So I'm wondering if maybe that was kind of what's going on, is that this pin is just super loose. And I'm not entirely sure how I might be able to address that. So I'm going to do some more research. All right, so another answer to this. See, this, again, this is my lack of experience working with cars. But anyways, so this pin is supposed to be loose like this. And what I didn't realize is that the shape of the bowl here is shaped so that I'll actually keep the pin from coming out. So when you put this thing back on, like we're going to do, since we're basically done with it at this point, like this, now that float can't move anywhere. So this kind of cleans this portion up. I'm going to go ahead and put my screws back in. I think actually I had a screw. I have to go back and check at this point. There's this little guy. I'm not entirely sure where he went. I'll have to look that up. This screw is kind of toast. I don't know if I want to put it back in or not. So we'll just tighten these. All right, I'm going to check the video, see where this little hanger went, so I get in the right spot. All right, I figured it out. So this is all right. I'm supposed to have another one of these things. I don't. That's okay. So it's supposed to have one on each side, I guess. It's gone missing a long time ago. That's okay though. We're just gonna get this thing right here. Okay, now I gotta find a replacement for this. Well, I'm not seeing anything, so I'm just gonna have to make do with it and then keep my eyes out for something that'll work in the future. Hopefully that'll do the trick. Okay, we got our carb there. And we need our little cup. Tighten that on. Okay. So I think pretty much our carb looks good. I'm not going to make any adjustments or changes. We'll stick these things back on. Like this. There's supposed to be another one over here, which I don't have. So it's just going to go on and hang. And then this guy goes down here, I guess. Shoot, you can't even see it. Okay. Stick that like that. And just like that. Nah. I think this wants to go down here. I'm going to actually reverse this. Stick that there, and then we'll stick that on there. Okay. It'll work. It'll be good enough. We'll get a zip tie and call it good. All right, so I got the carb cleaned up. I got the boot back on it, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put it back in. And I'm not entirely, I should say I'm not entirely 100% sure of what the problem is. I wish I had a little more sure, oh, this was the problem. So it just, it wouldn't rev up was the issue. And so hopefully cleaning the carb did the trick. And they're definitely it's hard to tell if stuff is actually clogged or if it just appears clogged because there's some black, gasoline or something that's in the pilot holes. So that's why I'm just a little bit unsure, but everything does look good at this point. Try and get this this line hooked up. Okay. All right, so I got the car back in and I got everything tightened up. I am not going to put the airbox back on because I'm actually going to be removing all this. I'm going to do the high flow air filter setup like I do for that. I really like it because it just opens everything up, makes it a lot easier to work and tune and stuff like that. So I don't have the bracket yet. That's on its way from the factory. So as soon as that gets here, I'm going to put that in, put the air filter on, should call it good. So overall, and the reason why I did this again was because this it would not rev up, and so I wasn't sure what was going on with it. So again, I opened it up. It looked like the jets might have been maybe clogged, but it's not 100% certain. So the only way we're going to find out now is to wait till we get the air filter and all that sort of stuff back, and we'll put it on, and then we'll see how it's running. So we're going to take this thing down to Pismo and we'll get an update from there. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. Take care.